Hello everyone, my name is Rune, and recently we just hit 5k subs on YouTube. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for supporting me and believing in my content. Today I wanted to do a bit of a Q&A to answer a couple of questions you guys might have, whether it's about ZZZ, me, or a combination of both. I figured this would be a nice way to give back to you guys for continuing to watch my content. I'll be going through as much of what was asked in the community tab, so please bear with me. Get it? Bear. So funny. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing afterwards. Anywho, without further ado, let's get into it. Our first question here comes from Blaine, and they asked, how did you come up with the fursona idea? Do you have a fursuit or go to any conventions? Well, to answer the second question, no, I don't have a fursuit, but I would like to get my fursona's head commissioned at some point. Also, I got a lot of questions similar to the first one, so I'll go over the history behind my fursona first. Back in high school, I had downloaded this weird game called Paladins on my Nintendo Switch. I only had enough money to get Splatoon 2 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at the time, so I spent a lot of my time in the free section of the eShop. Since I couldn't play Overwatch, I defaulted to Paladins instead, and I played the mess out of this game, with Pip and Maeve being my mains at the time. Fast forward to July of 2019, and two things that I would consider peak had come out during this month. That being Fire Emblem Three Houses, and a new support hero in Paladins named Io. Io is a support character who is a lunar deity, and she has her faithful companion, Luna, with her at all times. The lore behind her is that she failed to save the people that worshipped her due to her being in a shattered state during the time of their need, causing many people to die when Yagarath invaded the realm. Now she serves to make up for lost time and prevent any more harm done to not only her people, but the realm itself. This character would not only go on to become my main, but she would end up being my favorite video game character of all time. And yes, she even beats out all of the big fat men that I love and adore so much. So my original fursona's design took heavy inspiration from her, with the main fur color taking from her hair and the highlights coming from the purple crystals all throughout her outfit. I had first conceptualized this design in 2022, and it was rough if I'm gonna be honest with you. He was originally a raccoon slash tanuki hybrid, since I was very fond of both of them at that time. But as time went on, I realized that a black person having a raccoon as their fursona would lead to some diabolical hate crimes in the future. Seriously, we're talking about some major double kills here. Anywho, I decided to opt for a red panda as the next best thing, which eventually became the best thing. These little guys are so adorable and I absolutely love them. After a while though, I started to get annoyed with how loud the purples were in this design, and you wouldn't believe what inspired me to change it to salmon. Yes, funnily enough, I was playing Fortnite around the time that Goku Black had dropped as a skin. I took a good look at his hair for a bit and said to myself, man, that's a very nice pink. And before you knew it, a few paint bucket tools later and I had the colors for my Sona down and finalized. This new pink really put together the entire look, and I was super happy with the result. It also just so happened to make my panda look like the trans flag, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. This is purely by coincidence though, seeing as though I'm not trans myself, I'm just someone who happens to enjoy the color palette a lot. Anywho, I decided to finalize the design with gold elements in both jewelry and markings around the body. The katakana on his belly says Rune, which was changed from his old design that originally read off as Luna, and I had given him 2 Cuban chains, bracelets on the arms and legs, and rings on his fingers respectively. The hairstyle varies depending on the mood I'm in, but you can generally see me in either a pompadour or the standard issue lion mane that you guys are more familiar with. And if you couldn't tell already, my character is also a lunar deity. I didn't really think too much about the lore, but here's what I got for him. Rune is one of the last of the lunar red panda gods that resides on the moon. He was born as a defect, with his brethren being able to control the likes of ice and water respectively, but with him being as the black sheep, he was only able to manipulate electricity instead. He was outcast by his parents, which eventually led to him facing off against his father and winning, thus resulting in wiping out the last of his kind. He now lives on Earth with a goal to end all prejudice and discrimination where he sees it, being armed with his signature weapon, Cluster Shock, a golden sword that is manifested by the electricity coursing through his veins. Anywho, that's pretty much the entire backstory behind my fursona in both design and lore. Jesus Christ, I'm only on the first question and we're already this far into the video? Let's move on to the next one. On to our next question. Lennon asks, what's your favorite video game of all time? Easily, this one has to go to Bomber's Cyberpunk. This is the game that I use for a lot of my title cards and outro segments of my videos. Jet Set Radio has been one of my favorite series of all time growing up, and seeing this game being teased had me super hyped in high school. I waited a long 4 years for this game to come out, and when it did, it exceeded my expectations and more. An amazing art style, wonderful song selection, and beautiful level design. Not to mention the insane amount of mod support that this game has. I literally got to put myself into my favorite game of all time and voice him. Oh, and I guess all of the suggestive art that I put is my graffiti too, but that's neither here nor there. Also, shout out to Jade, by the way. He is the person that created my model. He also does a lot of other 3D work for VR chat related stuff. Please go check him out. I'll have a link to some of his socials in the description. As someone who was born on the same year that Jet Set Radio released, I think it's safe to say that this game being my favorite game of all time was definitely fate for me. Moving on to the next question, Postal asked, if you were a ZZZ character, what would you be? Role, element, sig, W engine, team synergy? I got a couple of questions like this one as well. I haven't really thought this out fully, but I can come up with something here on the spot right now. Rune would be an electric attack agent. Listen, hold on, let me cook with this one, okay? I know there's already too many electric agents, but I was electric first before this game came out, alright? He'd also be a Void Hunter class agent due to him being a deity. My signature W engine would probably be tied to Cluster Shock, with the main stat being crit damage and its effect being tied to buffing my own crit rate. As for synergy, I'd be the first character to have a race-specific passive, requiring Thyran characters to proc my additional ability. Ironic considering my character's lore, but I promise that it makes sense in the end. Oh, and we can throw in support there so that I can make myself even more busted. Though, don't put me on a team with Pan and Ben. Neither of them will get their passive, and I promise you that nothing will get accomplished anyway if it did. Our next question comes from Morrid, and they ask, will you keep giving us no Void Hunter / average player clears? I really enjoyed your music choice in those videos, and I think it would be cool to see your gameplay again. Gods, no offense to you, Morrid, I love you, but I really hate the term average player, and I think that it's ruining the Zenless community a lot. But I digress. I liked doing these videos because they're a great way to show people struggling that they don't need perfect investment or newer characters to clear content, but sadly, the main reason why I used to do those videos was for the tourists complaining about HP inflation. To be honest, tourists aren't even watching CCZ content to begin with, so I kind of just fell flat on doing those types of videos. I might do a random clear every now and again, but I very much enjoy my editing style now as opposed to just sloppily putting together a clear with some music on the background. So I'm gonna keep doing videos like these for the time being. Moving on, Wulgard says, hi, shout out from Brazil. First, I wanted to say that I love your content. Really happy to see a ZZZ creator that makes his research before recording and is not afraid to criticize the game they play. Now for the question, which character would you like to receive an Ellen-like rework? Not necessarily because they're weak and need buffs, but mostly because they're either boring or clunky to play. Personally, I'd say Gris, because I find it really bad that you have to rely so much on her EX and regular specials to build up Anomaly, making so sometimes you have to waste her energy to complete a 90% full Anomaly meter. Keep up the great work, and let's get to 10k. First of all, I love you. Thank you so much. Second of all, Grace is fine. You're slightly overthinking it, but I do get what you mean about the EX skill on a full bar of Anomaly. And lastly, give the rework to Seth. Yes, I love Ben, but I would much rather them release an S-rank version of him than rework his current kit. Seth is a character that had so much potential, but was fundamentally gutted due to how slow his whole moveset is. Make every move of his faster, give him the overcharged files mechanic that I mentioned in the Seth video, and make the anomaly-focused tank actually require Anomaly for his passive. Anyways, moving on. Manzanita asks, top 3 Thyrans you'd like to see in ZZZ? Well, obviously, I'd love for them to add a red panda Thyran for no particular reason. This one doesn't count, by the way. This is like one of the worst renditions of a red panda I've seen. As long as he or she is short and chubby, I really don't mind. Also, give me a real tiger Thyran, not whatever the hell this abomination is. And last me, give me a raccoon Thyran. We already have Kama, so the next best thing is to add a Thyran based off of his American cousin. Adam Foxy says, okay, so you are the newest designer at Hoya and you've been tasked with the newest twink. What does he look like? What does he do? And how does he do it? Go. All right, so I'm going to introduce you guys to this character named Caspian from Paladins. Waiting for this thing to load up. Oh my god, you can see him right here. He's so freaking cool. Dude, are you serious? Oh my god. The one time I actually want to show off a cool fucking character and Hi-Res can't even keep their cert. Oh my goodness. What other twink am I gonna look at then? There's no other cool twinks in fiction that I think oh my god. I'm just gonna have to freeball his kit and then I'm just gonna show you guys his trailer afterwards because I think that it's freaking awesome. But he would just be a physical attacker and he'd be like the first like pseudo attacker slash anomaly character and whatnot. He's just roll the clip. Roll the clip.
So, how did you get this?
A gentleman never tells.
That's why I'm asking you, Caspian.
You know me so well. It was just left lying around, totally unguarded, for anyone to find. Can you even imagine?
No.
Well, is it even that important? After all, finders keepers.
Something tells me you're going to be in a lot of trouble for taking this.
Sounds like fun. Care to join me?
I fear it's peak cinema. He would 100% be the next strength that I would add to the game if I had the chance to. That big tangent aside, Antonio asked, if you were to choose an NPC to be playable, which one would it be? It could be multiple. Congrats on 5K, by the way. Thank you again. And I think the obvious answer for me is Big Daddy. There's no reason why we got fucking Piper instead of this hunk here, but I digress. Harper asks, in a 1v1 situation, which agent would you fight in real life? Last one conscious, or breathing depending on who you pick, wins. Let's be honest, this isn't a would I win against them scenario. This is a which agent do I come the closest to beating before my ass gets handed to me situation. First of all, no, this is absolutely a would I win against them scenario, because yeah, acting like I'm gonna let this happen to me. I have both a boy and girl answer just to make it fair. Let's see, if I'm picking a fight solely to win, then unfortunately, I'm gonna have to box up Nicole. Take her briefcase away and what is she? Exactly, she's getting pieced up. These hands are rated E for everyone. As for the fair fight, give me the police officer. I would dog the shit out of Seth. Do you see that frame? Again, disarm him and it's over. And even if he has the weapon, the fuck is he gonna do? He's gonna spend so much time charging it that I'll have enough time to hit him with some haymakers from downtown. Yeah, no, if I had to do it specifically to win, it would be Nicole simply because she's like the least threatening character in the cast. And then if I had to like do like same gender and whatnot, easily Seth. I'm boxing the shit out of that police officer, bro. Give me that twink right now. Sorry, I had to regain my composure there. Anyways, moving on. That one school vlogger asked, if you had to rank Ben, Yinhu, Lycan, and Monado from worst to best, how would you rank them? Congrats on 5K, by the way. Love your channel. Thank you, first and foremost. And I would rank the characters like this. Kamano in last place simply because he isn't a full Thyran and his color palette is overused and boring. I was stoked for this character in the original 2.0 trailer, but was disappointed to find out that he ended up looking like someone's AU version of Shadow the Hedgehog instead of an actual furry wolfman. This is Barislop, and I absolutely hate this design. Lycan's in third place here because he's sadly just a generic wolfman. He's pretty cool, but the one thing that I hate about Hoyover's furries is that they can never seem to get the snout right on these characters. Ben has this issue too, which is why he comes in second. And Panda takes first because he is literally the hottest character Hoyover's has ever released, and I'm being so serious. Our next question comes from Ishkar, and they ask, how important do you personally find it to 9-star Deadly Assault or full clear Shiyu, compared to doing the minimum 6 stars for DA or not worrying about all the stars in the last leg of Shiyu? So for me personally, I care a lot considering that my account has not only the characters but the copies to do it with like my eyes closed. But for the average player, when it comes to talking about Deadly Assault, anything past 6 stars is unnecessary and only for the higher score and more investigation points. For Shiyu defense, it's pretty important that you get S rank on every level since it is the mode that you get the most polychromes from. I highly encourage players to play this mode every time it updates because it serves as a way to test the units you build and see what you need to do to make them stronger. And if you're taking 3 minutes to clear one side, that's okay. The game gives you 5 minutes in total for the S rank, so just take your time and do your best. I know you can do it. Next up, Gris asks, 3 quick questions. Why are you so adorable? What's your favorite flower? And which ZZZ A rank do you feel like should get an S rank version? And why is it Ben? First off, thank you. I'm very glad you find my persona adorable. Side note, I really hate those furries or VTubers that purposely do the "I'm not cute" shtick. Personally, if I get a compliment from someone that isn't creepy, I'll express my gratitude for it, not behave like a little child to please some sick freaks in my chat. Anywho, my favorite flower is most likely a rose. It's very simple and I used to love drawing them as a kid. And for the A rank that needs an S rank, it's either between Ben or Billy. But the cunning hair's already got one, so personality bias wins the day again. Please, for the love of God, make him fire attacker, bro. Oh my days, dude, I'm sick of playing DPS Ben. And our last question for today's video comes from Aether. And they say, I don't really know what to ask, but I'd love to see a basic introduction to the voice behind the panda, letting us get to know you better. For this one, I don't necessarily know how to answer it, but it was the first question I was asked, so I figured I'd must. The voice that I put on for you guys in my videos is still relatively me. It's more so my retail voice, if anything. A lot of people tend to be confused when I tell them that I'm black, hitting me with the age-old response of, "Oh my gosh, you're so well spoken." And I really don't know what to say to that. My retail voice is just the voice I put on whenever I need to code switch. Because, to be honest, it's a lot more professional to say, "Hi, welcome to our code store. Is there anything I could help you with today?" Versus, "Ayo, what's good? Welcome to the Code Goat. We got coats in the front, coats in the back. Yo, hit me up if you need help with anything. I'll holla at you." You can kind of see where I'm coming from with that. Also, since I read off of scripts a lot, I naturally default to this voice since it kind of reminds me of all the essays I had to read off of. Not to mention, a lot of people tend to like how soft-spoken I am, which is why I go for that approach in 90% of my videos. You only ever get to hear the real me whenever I'm playing video games or ranting about other things. Like this clip here.
You save your grifting for the gotcha content. Don't be lying over here.
Grifting! Nah, if there's one thing that I'm going grift about, it's fucking, it's Splatoon and then fighting game shit. Don't tell me nothing about this Warframe stuff. I'm still learning. Fuck out of here. You want me to put...
Don't be fucking like you
I
know!
don't know. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We are not doing this.
Jesus, as someone with an orca persona, my partner sure does laugh like a hyena. Anywho, that's it for this video. Now, there were a lot of other questions that I didn't get the chance to answer, but some of them were a couple of repeats and others I didn't really know how to answer. So hopefully next time for our next milestone, I'll be able to answer those questions and even more. I just want to take the time to express my gratitude for you guys and truly thank you all for the 5K subscribers. I really do want to try and make this a full-time thing, and you guys' support really means the world to me. I'm going to try my best to make sure that you guys have the information you need to clear ZZZ content, even if I'm not truly a guide maker. If anything, you guys have the Discord that you should totally join that serves to be a good helping center for people that are struggling. With that being said, I want to give a big shout out to my YouTube channel members as always. Members get access to my videos a day early and an exclusive role within my Discord. And if you want to support me directly, consider buying me a coffee. It helps keep me well fed and gives me motivation to keep working on these videos. You guys are amazing, beautiful people, and I wish you that all of your gacha luck goes in your favor. As always, I gotta get started on the next one. I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.